special video. And what is this video, you may ask? Well, I have a very special book. It's very heavy. I don't know if you can see it. I still haven't played Blasphemous II, but Blasphemous I is one of my favorite games ever. And as a proud Spaniard, I am very proud of this game and of the art and the references to our culture that can be found. So, I wanted to share this beautiful, amazing art book with you, my dear guest. This book was gifted to me by my beautiful and wonderful friends and ex-flatmates. And yeah, it motivated me to actually get Blasphemous II, but I have to wait until it's on sale at the eShop because I would get it for the Switch. That's where I played Blasphemous 1. I was in fact replaying it recently because I wanted to get a different ending. Different ending. And well, I can tell you right now, this is super heavy, but it's very beautiful. So I thought, why not read it, look over it together, and yeah, just relax, and enjoy the art, and enjoy the soothing sounds of my voice, so that you can wind down to sleep. How about that? Okay, if that sounds fine to you, then I'm going to quickly prepare everything and give you a shot where you can fully appreciate the beauty of the book and the beauty of the art. So, before that, lie down, relax, take a couple deep breaths. You are right here, right now. There is nothing you need to be thinking about as of right now, okay? You can just let go, and you can just relax and listen to my voice and look at the pictures and the texts of this wonderful book. So, with that out of the way, let us change our view a little bit so that we can see the book better. Okay. So here it is. The art of Blasphemous. So, for those of you who don't know this saga of games, this franchise, Blasphemous is a game that basically plays a lot on religious imagery. You play as the penitent one, and you have to go through certain trials to deem yourself worthy of salvation, or if you don't do things right, which is very difficult. I mean that it is difficult to do things right. Or condemnation, I don't know if you are aware, but this game has a lot of specifically Spanish Catholic imagery in it, which is why I love it so much. The art is beautiful, and it depicts that aspect of Spanish culture very, very beautifully. So let's stop my blabbing and let's begin looking at the book. Here you can see the cover. And just like I said, this book is practically new, because I did want to go over it with you guys. So yeah, here you have a church. The kind of church that you could very easily find in Spanish towns. Hopefully not as run down as this one. But yeah, it's very typical. Here you can see they got it to me. Here you can see they got it for me right after it came out. Because they gifted it to me in May. So here it says, dedicated to all Blasphemous fans. Dedicado a todos los fans de Blasphemous. Here you have the contents, and as you can see, the book is bilingual, which I find absolutely delightful. I love reading different translations and seeing what means what they decided to keep, what they decided to cut out, and so on and so forth. The pages are very thick, kind of like a magazine's pages would be. So, presentation. 4 years after publishing the first art book about the Blasphemous universe, we are back with a new compilation of the material created by our artists for the sequel to the first game. Through its pages, you will be able to immerse yourself in the fascinating creative, documentary, and artistic process that shaped the baroque and dark aesthetics of Blasphemous II. Whether you are passionate about this video game or interested in culture, history, and the arts in general, we hope that you will find these pages as fascinating as the creative adventures of Blasphemous has been for us. Enrique Cabeza, creative director and art director of Blasphemous I and II. 4 años después de publicar el primer libro de arte sobre el universo de Blasphemous, regresamos con una nueva compilación del material creado por nuestros artistas para la secuela del primer juego. A través de sus páginas podrás sumergirte en el fascinante proceso creativo, documental y artístico que dio forma a la estética barroca y tenebrista de Blasphemous II. Tanto si eres un apasionado de este videojuego como si te interesa la cultura, la historia y las artes en general, esperamos que estas páginas te resulten tan fascinantes como lo ha sido para nosotros la aventura creativa de Blasphemous. Enrique Cabeza, director creativo y director de arte de Blasphemous 1 y 2. The decision to create this second game had been made a year earlier, encouraged by the success of the first game and the fact that many good ideas had been left unfulfilled. We also had valuable suggestions from the community that we felt could improve our original approach. So, with the enthusiasm that comes with the start of a new game and the drive and imagination that served as a palliative for the anxiety that characterized those years, they are speaking about 2020, 23, you know. Those years, ideals and proposals began to emerge that excited us once again. These ideas, born from the creative and fraternal effervescence of a whole team, are now organized and conveniently documented in the following pages. A relevant fact for those curious about the influences: the horizons and sources of the Blasphemous universe have been widened, becoming more varied and richer in the second part. On many occasions, Blasphemous has been described as a video game closely linked to the Baroque religious imagery of southern Spain. For this sequel, we have gone further, incorporating elements not only from the religious folklore of southern Spain and its imagery, but also from other areas such as literature and cinema, in an incessant and ambitious search for references that have inspired us and allowed us to expand the expressive limits of our game. The purpose of this art book is therefore twofold. On the one hand, to share in a splendid edition and in great detail the enormous work that the artists of the game and kitchen have done for Blasphemous II, and secondly, to document their sources and give the reader a deeper insight into the nature of the creative process. We hope you enjoy it. La decisión de desarrollar una secuela había sido tomada un año antes, aupados por el éxito que había supuesto el lanzamiento del primer juego, y habida cuenta de que muchas buenas ideas no habían podido llegar a plasmarse. Además, contábamos con valiosas sugerencias de la comunidad que creíamos que podían mejorar nuestro planteamiento original. Así, con el entusiasmo propio que supone comenzar un nuevo juego, y gracias al impulso y al poder imaginativo que sirvieron como paliativos de la zozobra que caracterizó aquellos años, comenzaron a surgir ideas y propuestas, y con ello volvimos a entusiasmarnos. Esas ideas, que nacen de la efervescencia creativa y fraternal de todo un equipo, ahora reposan ordenadas y convenientemente documentadas en estas páginas. Un dato relevante para aquellos que sientan curiosidad por las influencias: se han ampliado los horizontes y las fuentes del universo de Blasphemous, que en esta segunda parte son más variadas y ricas. No han sido pocas las ocasiones en las que se ha referido a Blasphemous como un videojuego estrechamente relacionado con la imaginería religiosa barroca del sur de España. En esta ocasión hemos ido más lejos, incorporando elementos no solo del folclore religioso del sur de España y su imaginería, sino también provenientes de otros ámbitos como la literatura y el cine, en una incesante y ambiciosa búsqueda de referencias que nos resultasen inspiradoras y que nos permitieran ensanchar los límites expresivos de nuestro juego. El propósito de este libro de arte es, por tanto, doble: Por un lado, compartir en una magnífica edición y con todo lujo de detalle el formidable trabajo que los artistas de The Game Kitchen han realizado para Blasphemous II. Y por otro lado, con documentar sus fuentes y otorgar así al lector una visión más profunda de la naturaleza del proceso creativo. Esperamos que lo disfrutes. As you can see, here you have the sword. And we have here the penitent one. This is our, well, not a hero, but our protagonist of sorts. This is the penitent one. So, I'm not going to read all of the text, but I'll read the first few paragraphs, okay? So, one of the first artistic decisions for the Penitent One's return in Blasphemous II was to add drama to his visual appearance. We wanted his new design to invoke his past experiences, his past struggles and sufferings, and to convey the feeling that an indefinite amount of time had passed. All this had to be done without losing or blurring the characteristics that define our protagonist's appearance and identity. Una de las primeras decisiones artísticas para el retorno del penitente en Blasphemous II fue agregar un dramatismo adicional a su apariencia visual. Para su nuevo diseño, nos propusimos evocar sus experiencias pasadas, sus luchas y padecimientos previos, así como transmitir la sensación de que había transcurrido un tiempo indefinido. Todo esto debía hacerse además sin perder o desdibujar las características que definen la apariencia y la identidad de nuestro protagonista. In the first sketches, as well as giving him a more somber appearance, we tried to give him a dilapidated look through the state of his clothes, as you can see, with the holes and the tears. Using duller colors and adding cuts and tears to his cape. Also, one of his arms was covered in twisted spiral roots, which, as well as satisfying certain gameplay requirements, revealed that the thorned Deogracias gave the penitent ones in the previous Blasphemous, urging him to stick it in the palm of his hand, had grown into the shape of thorny roots, just as the mysterious guide had prophesied. En los bocetos iniciales, además de un semblante más sombrío, intentamos darle un aspecto deteriorado a través del estado de su vestimenta, utilizando colores más apagados y añadiendo cortes y jirones en su capa. Además, uno de sus brazos fue tapado por raíces retorcidas en espiral que, además de cubrir ciertas necesidades de diseño relacionadas con la jugabilidad, revelan que la espina que Deogracias le entregó en el primer Blasphemous y le instó a clavarse en la palma de la mano, había crecido en forma de raíz espinosa, tal y como le había profetizado el misterioso guía. Here you can see the different skins that they designed, and here you can see for the design of the penitent one, who wields a rapier and dagger, we were inspired by men's clothing in Spain during the reigns of Charles I and Philip II, especially those of the Chalices. Para el diseño del penitente que blandiera la ropera y la daga, nos inspiramos en las indumentarias masculinas en España durante los reinados de Carlos I y Felipe II, concretamente las de los duelistas. Here you can see the different skins. I love the different designs. It's amazing that you get new weapons in the second game. In the first one, I do remember that you can add different things to your sword to make it do different things or have different attacks. But the game mostly relies on the prayers for that. But it's really cool to see that you can get different weapons now. I want to get this game as soon as possible. Okay, the design process for the Penitent One's new weapons proved to be one of the biggest challenges in the development of Blasphemous II, both on a visual and game design level, as the weapons would not only affect the combat rules themselves, but would also have a major visual impact on the protagonist's identity, both in-game and in future promotional images for Blasphemous II. El proceso de diseño para las nuevas armas del penitente resultó ser uno de los mayores retos en el desarrollo de Blasphemous II, tanto a nivel visual como de game design, ya que, además de influir en las propias reglas de combate establecidas en el videojuego, las armas tendrían un impacto visual mayúsculo en la identidad del protagonista, tanto in-game como en las futuras imágenes promocionales de Blasphemous II. The design of Veredicto is based on one of the most characteristic objects of Catholic religious celebrations, the incense burner. It is a receptacle for the incense of certain aromatic resins, whose original purpose was to alleviate the bad odor of pilgrims arriving at the temples, although today it is associated with promoting introspection, spiritual elevation, and participation in the Eucharistic mystery. Although its existence is documented in Egyptian and Greco-Roman celebrations, the oldest examples preserved in their current form, a wide, perforated cup with a lid supported by chains, date from the 12th century. Tras el diseño de Veredicto se encuentra uno de los utensilios más característicos de las celebraciones religiosas católicas, el incensario. Se trata de un recipiente en el que se produce el saumerio de ciertas resinas aromáticas, generalmente olíbano, cuyo propósito original era paliar el mal olor de los peregrinos que llegaban a los templos, aunque en la actualidad está relacionado con favorecer la introspección y la elevación espiritual y la participación en el misterio eucarístico. Aunque está documentada su existencia en el seno de celebraciones egipcias y grecorromanas, los ejemplares más antiguos conservados con la forma actual, una copa ancha perforada con cubierta sustentada por unas cadenillas, datan del siglo XII. Look how beautiful these designs are. Look at the attention to detail. It's just amazing. Like, oh my god. They are so beautiful. You guys don't understand just how much I love this game and just how much I love the art and the thoughts that went into it. It fills me with so much joy. Okay, Sarmiento and Centella. This pair of swords is a set inspired by the legendary dueling weapons of the Spanish Golden Age, the rapier and the dagger. The light, straight and elongated rapier sword was used in Spain, Portugal, and other territories of the Spanish Empire from the early 16th century until the mid-18th century. It was so named because it was not only an instrument of self-defense, but also a fashionable accessory worn with clothing. This name appears for the first time in the Coplas de la Panadera by Juan de Mena, 15th century. Este par de espadas forman un conjunto que está inspirado en las legendarias armas de duelo características del siglo de oro español, la ropera y la daga. La liviana, recta y alargada espada ropera estuvo presente en España, Portugal y otros dominios del Imperio Español desde principios del siglo XVI hasta mediados del siglo XVIII. Recibía tal nombre porque, además de ser un instrumento de defensa personal, se llevaba como un accesorio de moda junto a la ropa. Tal nombre aparece registrado por primera vez en las coplas de la panadera de Juan de Mena, siglo XV. Look at all the different designs. I love these sort of designs, like with the Sacred Heart and the rays coming out. I love it. Someday in the future I would like to get something like this tattooed. It's amazing, and I don't know if the camera picks it up, but there's little skulls here. There's little skulls. It's just, look how absolutely beautiful all of these designs are. I love the color scheme. I don't know if you know, but literally my favorite colors are black and red. So it's just so I'm speechless, you guys. I am completely and utterly speechless. Ruego al Alba. This weapon is so cool. Like, I draw and I wish I was capable of imagining like different weapons and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, to be able to design weapons that look frightening as well as beautiful, that's some true talent right there. Ruego al Alba. The Ruego al Alba sword was designed with a religious act of prayer in mind. In its design, the hilt represents the shape of two hands intertwined in a gesture of prayer and devotion. In addition, rosary beads adorn the edge of the curved blade, like a menacing ornament that mimics the teeth of a soul, unleashing its deadly power at certain moments in the battle. Like, oh my god, who thinks of that? Like, who has the actual genius to come up with such a beautiful incarnation of something like prayer, you know? Like, it's just amazing. Oh. On the other hand, the uniquely curved shapes of Arabic swords also provided inspiration, such as the cutlass, characteristic of the Muslim kingdoms of the Middle Ages and widely used in the Iberian Peninsula and various regions of the Mediterranean. The Ruego al Alba sword combines aesthetic beauty with deadly effectiveness, creating a unique and significant weapon in the Blasphemous II universe. La espada Ruego al Alba fue diseñada tomando como punto de partida el acto religioso de la plegaria. En su diseño, el pomo presenta la forma de dos manos entrelazadas en un gesto de ruego y de devoción. Además, las cuentas de un rosario adornan el filo de su hoja curva, como un amenazante ribete que imita los dientes de una sierra que desencadena su poder letal en momentos específicos durante el combate. Por otro lado, también resultaron inspiradoras las singulares formas curvas de las espadas árabes, como el alfanje, característico de los reinos musulmanes de la Edad Media y ampliamente utilizado en la península ibérica y en diversas regiones del Mediterráneo. La La espada Ruego al Alba fusiona la belleza estética con una eficacia mortífera, creando así un arma única y significativa en el universo de Blasphemous II. Oh my gosh. You guys, you don't even understand how much I love these sort of imagery and these sort of aesthetics. How beautiful is this? Like, oh my god. Creating Custodia characters. Creando los personajes de Custodia. Now this is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Right now from the start I can see this takes a lot of inspiration from I can't even speak. It's just that beautiful. But I can tell that it takes a lot of inspiration of paintings depicting the Immaculate Conception of Virgin Mary and of paintings of Virgin Mary. There's also a painting in my town's church of the Ascension of the Virgin Mary into the heavens that kind of reminds me of this, or well, maybe this reminds me of that. And I love the little hand here. It kind of reminds me of in tarot, you know, in the Wade Smith deck, the aces always have these floating hands giving something. So maybe they hold a cup, or maybe they hold a wand, or maybe they hold a pentacle. Okay, I'll stop my blabbing, but it's just so beautiful. I aspire to make art as beautiful as this. This is such an inspiration. Anunciada. In designing the character who will guide our protagonist through the adventure, we wanted to capture the essence of a divine messenger, in clear reference to Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy. For the representation of her, we found a strong inspiration, in the oil painting of Immaculate Conception by Pedro Pablo Rubens. Currently in the Prado Museum in Madrid. In turn, the influences for this figure are shared with Titian's work. 16th century Doge Antonio Grimani kneeling before the faith. Para el diseño del personaje que guiara a nuestro protagonista durante la aventura, queríamos plasmar la esencia de un emisario divino, en clara alusión a la Divina Comedia de Dante Alighieri. Para su representación encontramos una fuerte inspiración en el óleo de la Inmaculada Concepción de Pedro Pablo Rubens, que se encuentra actualmente en el Museo del Prado de Madrid. A su vez, las influencias para este personaje son compartidas con la obra de Tiziano, siglo XVI, el Dux Antoni Grimani y la Alegoría de la Fe. This is just breathtaking, guys. How can you not appreciate the beauty of this? Oh, I just can't. Like, maybe it reaches harder for me, like it cuts deeper, because, you know, I've seen this person, you know? Like, I do see this, and I recognize the archetype of a mother. The black shoes, the black dress, of mourning, holding her child. I'm getting emotional. Okay, the character of the mother holding her daughter is inspired by Regula, the devoted servant played by Terele Pavez in The Holy Innocents. Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I have seen this person. The Holy Innocents is an amazing, amazing, amazing film. You have to watch it. You have to watch it. Mario Camus' feature film, which is acclaimed as one of the finest and most successful feature films in the history of Spanish cinema. This cinematic masterpiece is an adaptation of the 1981 novel of the same name by Miguel Delibes. You have to watch this film or to read the novel. It is something that you need to do if you want to be moved, if you want to understand how Spanish society worked back then, if you want to get a very close look and a very intimate look into what Spanish society was like during that point in time, you absolutely have to watch this film. It's very intense and very dramatic, but I think you should absolutely watch it. El personaje de la madre con su hija en brazos toma su inspiración de Regula, la abnegada sirvienta interpretada por Terele Pavez en Los Santos Inocentes, 1984, el largometraje de Mario Camus. Considerada una de las mejores y más exitosas películas de la historia del cine español, esta adaptaba a la gran pantalla la novela homónima de Miguel Delibes de 1981. Back again, and I know, this one is in reference to La Casa de Bernarda Alba, another play that you absolutely must watch or you must read to understand the depth of religious roots in families and in society, and how it affected women, whenever they lost their husbands. It's amazing. You can see this woman is completely barren, covered in black. You just feel the grief and you feel the mourning when you see this character. So I'm going to stop my blabbing and we are going to read. Viuda. This character was inspired by the tyrannical and austere widow of the House of Bernarda Alba, one of the masterpieces, and I honestly have to stress masterpiece, of the 20th century Spanish theater, written by Federico García Lorca in 1936. We wanted to portray the imposing presence of this character in the first scene of the play, in which Bernarda appears majestically seated on a reed chair, with her intimidating cane and her austere mourning. The dreamlike scenario in which we find her in the video game was inspired by a chilling phrase of hers at the end of the play. We'll drown ourselves in a sea of mourning. We captured this idea of a sea of mourning through huge black veils that intersect and move with the wind, like the waves of a wild sea paralyzed in time. In the image represented in the video game, the daughters are at the top, hanging from a rope from which they are tied to a chair, seeking a staging with clear theatrical references. Their pale faces and inert bodies contrast with the black of the veils and Bernarda's fierce mourning. In the image represented in the video game, the daughters are at the top, hanging... Este Este personaje fue inspirado por la viuda tirana y severa de la casa de Bernarda Alba, una de las obras cumbre del teatro español del siglo XX, escrita por Federico García Lorca en 1936. Quisimos representar la imponente presencia que tiene dicho personaje en la primera escena de la obra, en la que Bernarda aparece majestuosamente sentada en una silla de Enea, con su bastón intimidante y su luto riguroso. El onírico escenario donde nos la encontramos en el videojuego se inspiró en una aterradora frase suya al final de la obra: y nos hundiremos todos, y nos hundiremos todas en un mar de luto. Plasmamos esa idea del mar de luto mediante unos enormes velos negros que se entrecruzan y se mueven con el viento como olas de un mar bravío, paralizado en el tiempo. En la imagen representada en el videojuego, las hijas se encuentran en la parte superior, ahorcadas por una cuerda de la que penden atadas a una silla, lo que busca una puesta en escena de claras referencias teatrales. Sus rostros pálidos y sus cuerpos inertes contrastan con el negro de los velos y el luto feroz de Bernarda. Oh yeah, this is about sculptures. I just don't know what to say, you guys. I feel like I'm repeating the same thing over and over again. Just look at this beautiful, beautiful art. It's just so amazing. Look at the attention to detail. Look at the different sculptures. You can see his studies. Oh my god. And you can see that it's like God's hands are guiding the sculpture's hands. It's just amazing. What can I say? Montañés, the master sculpture. El Imaginera Montañés. This is our special tribute to Juan Martínez Montañés, known as the God of Wood, the most important Andalusian sculptor in the history of religious imagery in southern Spain, whose works continue to inspire true devotion today. To develop conceptual tests of the figure, we took as our starting point the portrait painted by Diego Velázquez in 1636, currently housed at the Prado Museum in Madrid. Based on this portrait by the Sevillian painter, for the game we imagined that one of the character's arms was crafted from wood and had several interchangeable hands with different tools, representing the different stages of traditional painting. Este es nuestro particular homenaje a Juan Martínez Montañés, calificado como el dios de madera, el maestro escultor andaluz más importante de la historia de la imaginería religiosa del sur de España, cuyas obras siguen despertando verdadera devoción a día de hoy. Para trabajar en las pruebas conceptuales del personaje, tomamos como punto de partida el retrato pintado por Diego Velázquez en 1636, que se conserva actualmente en el Museo del Prado de Madrid. A partir de ese retrato realizado por el pintor sevillano, para el juego imaginamos que uno de los brazos del personaje fuera de madera y tuviera varias manos intercambiables con diferentes herramientas que representan los diferentes procesos de la imaginería tradicional. How gorgeous. Just how gorgeous, guys. Look at the attention to detail with the different tools and the different... On the other hand, the extraordinary works of Martínez Montañés were a fundamental source of reference for the creation of many of the characters in this video game. Many of them can currently be seen in various churches and chapels in Seville, as well as in the cathedral and the city's Museum of Fine Arts. These religious images are the result of complex handicraft work that involves carving, assembling, and polychromy of wood. Our character is designed as a tribute to this traditional art that has marked the history and culture of Andalucía. Por otro lado, las extraordinarias obras de Martínez Montañés han sido una fuente fundamental de referencias para la creación de numerosos personajes de este videojuego. Muchas de ellas pueden verse actualmente en diversas iglesias y capillas sevillanas, así como en la catedral y el Museo de Bellas Artes de la ciudad. Estas imágenes religiosas son el resultado de un complejo trabajo artesanal que implica el tallado, el asemblaje y la policromía de la madera. Nuestro personaje pretende ser un homenaje a este arte tradicional que ha marcado la historia y la cultura de Andalucía. Venerada. Benigno. Look how beautiful. Guys, I am in love. I am absolutely in love. How beautiful is this? Maybe I have a very macabre sense of beauty, but look, the little cherubs are helping her shed her skin, and it's the little cherubs who are holding her and gently taking her apart. Gently taking her apart. It moves me in a way that you can't even imagine. Our Lady of the Chalices. This character is based on a sculpture by Pedro de Mena, Magdalena Penitente, from 1664, belonging to the Spanish Baroque, and exhibited in the Sculpture Museum of Valladolid. I've seen this sculpture. I'm going to put a picture of it because it is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It is one of my favorite sculptures ever. Yeah. The sculpture of Mary Magdalene captures her beauty and her pain, her tenderness and her repentance with great realism. Moreover, her long curls, symbolizing her past vanity, were additionally included for the representation of the grieving lady in the video game. Este personaje está basado en una escultura de Pedro de Mena, Magdalena Penitente, de 1664, perteneciente al barroco español y que se exhibe en el Museo de la Escultura de Valladolid. La escultura de María Magdalena plasma la belleza y su dolor, su ternura y su arrepentimiento con gran realismo. Sus largos rizos, que simbolizan su vanidad y pasado, se incluyeron adicionalmente para la representación de la afligida dama en el videojuego. Look how beautiful is this quilt of theirs. Open up the skin and red flesh, uncover the lie that my shell conceals, for I am only blood and bones. So allow the chalices to be filled with those who toast to kings and priests. Ábranse la piel y las rojas carnes, destápese la mentira que mi envoltura oculta, pues solo soy huesos y carne. Llénense así los cálices con los que brindan reyes y sacerdotes. It's just so beautiful, guys. And can you imagine the absolute mastery of anatomy that you have to be able to pull this off? Like, this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing. And I love the little cherubs. This is something I would like to get tattooed. Like, honestly. Procession of shadows, procesión de las sombras. This is about a Galician legend. Sisters of the Cobijo, Hermanas del Cobijo. These mysterious figures, hidden in the world of Blasphemous II, were inspired by the Cobijadas, the refugees of Vejer de la Frontera, Cádiz. The Cobijadas were women who wore a peculiar black dress of Castilian origin that emerged between the 16th and the 17th centuries, characterized by the fact that it completely covered the wearer, leaving only the left eye visible. Only the left eye visible. Although the costume was used in many regions of southern Spain, and even in some areas of the American continent, it was in Vejer de la Frontera that it became established. This costume can still be seen today in some of the ceremonies held during the patron saint festivities in Vejer, where there is a statue dedicated to this traditional costume. Estos misteriosos personajes que se encuentran escondidos en el mundo de Blasphemous II están inspirados en las cobijadas de Vejer de la Frontera, Cádiz. Las cobijadas eran mujeres cuya peculiar vestimenta negra de origen castellano y que surgió entre los siglos XVI y XVII se caracterizaba por cubrir por completo a quien la vestía, lo que dejaba solo visible el ojo izquierdo. Aunque el atuendo se utilizó en numerosas regiones del sur de España e incluso en algunas zonas del continente americano, fue en Vejer de la Frontera donde perduró en el tiempo. Este traje aún se puede ver actualmente en algunos actos protocolarios durante las fiestas patronales de Vejer, donde hay una estatua dedicada a esta tradicional vestimenta. Reverencia, the concept behind the majestic hand that gracefully floats in the Wake Street church in the world of Blasphemous II, is inspired by the hand kiss. The kiss on the hand is a gesture of deep attachment and submission to kings and princes, has its origins in the East before our time. It was adopted by various cultures, such as the Hebrew and Roman, which served as a bridge for its eventual incorporation into the Catholic tradition during the Middle Ages. In the Catholic Church, to meet the Pope or Cardinal, it was customary to kiss the ring on the right hand, a gesture depicted in countless paintings and a direct reference for the creation of this character. El concepto detrás de la mano majestuosa que levita grácilmente en la iglesia de la calle de los Velatorios, en el mundo de Blasphemous II, está inspirado en el besamanos. Besar la mano como gesto de adhesión y sumisión profunda, por regla general a reyes y príncipes, tiene su origen en Oriente antes de nuestra era, algo que fue adoptado por diversas culturas, como la hebrea y la romana, que sirvieron de puente para que finalmente fuese incorporado a la tradición católica durante la Edad Media. En la Iglesia Católica, el encuentro con el Papa, un cardenal, obligaba a besar el anillo de su mano derecha, un gesto representado en innumerables pinturas y que sirve de referencia directa para la creación de este personaje. I'm passing through some of the illustrations because I want to read the ones that have the shortest text. So, okay. Sagrario, 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 sagrario. The design behind this character is inspired by the so-called ceramic altarpieces, which are ceramic mosaics of religious images framed by an illustrated border on the facades of religious temples. By an illustrated border, generally inspired by Mozarabic art and usually placed on the facades of religious temples. Sometimes these altarpieces are protected by a tiled roof and even decorated with elaborate lanterns. In designing Sagrario, a ceramic altarpiece that has come to life, we wanted to remain faithful to these characteristic and recognizable elements to this type of work. Yeah, here you can see, this would be like the top of the Sagrario. And then you can see all the beads and all the mosaics and stuff. I love the curls. El diseño tras este personaje viene inspirado por los llamados retablos cerámicos, que son mosaicos de cerámica de imágenes religiosas enmarcadas con una cenefa generalmente inspirada en el arte mozárabe y que suelen colocarse en las fachadas de los templos religiosos. A veces estos retablos vienen protegidos con un techo de tejas e incluso adornados con ornamentos faroles. Para el diseño del sagrario, un retablo cerámico que ha cobrado vida, hemos querido mantenernos fieles a estos elementos tan característicos y reconocibles de este tipo de obras. The Confessor, el confesor. As you can see, this is just a regular confessional booth, but it has been kind of incarnated into a person. And I think we are going to stop here. This is a very, very thick book, so it has a lot of different images and different characters that we can look at. But if you did like it and you are interested in seeing the rest, then I will very gladly make another video going over the rest. So yeah, I hope that this was relaxing, and that it was interesting and informative. I hope you will have an amazing night. An amazing night. I hope that you will be able to sleep through the night. Now that you're lying down and you are relaxed and you are all ready for bed, I hope that you will be able to sleep well and rest and wake up feeling energized. This has been our little moment of reading for the day, and I'll see you. I'll see you on the next one. Have sweet dreams.